Hi everyone, so I'm going to go through pruning a wisteria today. This is a Wisteria sinensis, a Chinese wisteria. You can tell that because the growth goes up to the right and spirals round. Um, if it was a Japanese wisteria, Wisteria floribunda, it would go the other direction to the left and spiral up to the left. So this is a Wisteria sinensis. As you can see, there's a lot of growth here that got missed in the summer prune. Generally with wisteria, you want to prune twice a year, once in the summer to take off the long whippy growth that forms. If the wisteria is established and you don't necessarily want it to get any bigger, take that whippy growth off. And then again at this time of year, February and March, we prune back to encourage flowers, and we're looking to go back to probably 2 or 3 buds if we can. You see some of the more established growth on this wisteria where the flowers will form, and these longer shoots here are growth that's been put on in the last 12 months. And I'm actually going to take all of that off because the wisteria is as big as I want it to get. We want to restrict its growth and encourage things like this, the flowering spares. So we're going to take off some of the growth from last year to try and encourage these flowering spares to form. These are probably formed over several years now, and they will flower in May. There's more there that you can see. Obviously, if you're wanting to encourage the wisteria to get bigger, then the whippy growth from last year, you need to train that in the direction where you want it to go. But mine is established at the size that I want it. So we just want to start encouraging as many flowering spares as we can. So with the spring prune, if you like, we're looking to go back to 2 or 3 buds. As I say, to encourage these spurs, you can see there's three buds there on that piece. That's a slightly younger one, a slightly younger spur that I'm trying to establish now. And then in the summer prune, we're looking to go back to 6 or 7 buds just to contain the growth and remove the long whippy stems that come off. They can get a little bit unruly. You can see there, these are slightly younger, as I say, spares that I'm trying to encourage into flowering. So we're going to keep those back to 2 or 3 buds, um, just to try and encourage the formation of flowers. Hopefully they'll flower this year, but it will certainly help to encourage them next year to flower if we keep them nice and tight. As you can see there, we've got 2 buds to encourage these older spurs. As you can see, that's what I've done with these. These are slightly older spurs. You can see the cuts there that I've made for probably over 2 or 3 years now, and they should have lots of flowers on this year. You can see just at the top there, where I have actually managed to cut some of the whippy growth back to 6 or 7 buds. That was done in the summer just to control that growth because it was actually growing right over the fence and onto the garage, over the other side of the fence, which we don't really want. Although there was plenty of the long growth that I did miss. It doesn't matter too much because you can just prune it back at this time of year. You can see what you're doing a lot better now the plant is defoliated. All the leaves have come off, so you can see the shape of the plant. You can find all the whippy growth and remove it. We'll just take this back here just to try and encourage a flowering spur there. And then some of the longer growth here, again, we're going to bring that right back, just to control the shape of the plant and encourage the flowering. We go back to 2 buds there, remove that. And what you'll get eventually is clusters of flowers all over the plant. They generally appear roughly the same time as the foliage starts to grow on this particular example. But what we're looking for is like lots of these nice little stubs coming off where the flowers will form. This is one of the long whippy pieces that I've missed last year, so we're just gonna, that's all 1 year's growth there. one of the pieces that I missed, and I don't need any more main stems along the back of this seat necessarily. So what we'll perhaps look to do is just remove that shoot so that the plant can put more energy into flowering. You can see how long the growth is there. And then the more established stems above, they're probably 4 or 5 years old now. And it does take time to establish a wisteria. Wisterias tend not to flower for the first 5 or 6 years. Certainly with this example, it was probably longer than that. And it does take time to establish them into a shape that you like, a shape that you want, and to encourage the flowers to start. But by removing that whippy growth that you don't actually need, that will help to encourage flowering. Here you can see that piece is probably a couple of years old now, and it's actually coming from one of the older parts of the plant. So just follow that right up there, and it's actually formed these 2 side spurs. They will hopefully form 2 new flowering spurs in the years to come. I tend to leave 3 buds on just in case we have any harsh weather and there's a bit of dieback. Then we've got a spare bud, basically, if you like, that we can cut back to, and we don't lose flowers for this year. That's all for today. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you have.